Hi once again. I thought I'd have a little change of item to show you. Start that again. I'm getting a bit mixed up here. No, it's about time I put some lamps up. Some of these have been shown in the past, but I was my interest or my thoughts were ignited today because I was having a look at something on eBay, and there was a job lot of items. These were mainly small lamps, but included several neons, not antique neons, but all the same neons. Well, you could say they're antique. They weren't made last week, so yeah, they're fairly old. And it was on a bidding arrangement. So I looked at it, I thought, blimey, can I spend more money? And I thought, well, it's money in the bank. And the starting price started at £10. So I thought, well, I'll bung it down. Put down £10. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. And that is the best way of looking at things like that. Anyhow, turned out I won it. So we'll have a little show of those lamps at some later date. Anyhow, let's start off with a lamp from America. Some of you might recognise it. I don't know. Where was it used? When was it used? A long time ago. I picked this lamp up from a bulb collector many years ago. I say many years ago, it wasn't many, but it was a few years ago. He was selling off his collection. And this was one of the lamps amongst other ones that he had, which are fortunately in my collection now. Anyhow, let you get out of your thinking what this was for. Have a close look. I put a white background so you can see. You can see the actual filament and where the two lead-in wires go close together. So you come out of the pinch, you get the closer together, then out again back to the filament. There is a reason for that. To give you some idea, it's a G-E size cap. Once again, very old, as you can tell by the makeup of the cap. Very old. Let's have a look at the name. Here you have the name. It's Mazda, made by G-E. And let's see what else it says on there. Yeah, look on that side, it's 6.6 amps. No voltage, no wattage. Lumens, I think that's 1000 L, so that's presumably 1000 lumens. Now this name was printed on the inside of the bulb. That dates it to a certain extreme. Now, let's explain where these lamps were used. They're obviously no longer used for their purpose. And this was one that I was lucky enough to get a hold of, and it's in working condition, although I will never wire it up to make it work. Suffice to say that this was used in America on series street lighting, which you had several of these lamps in series for the street light. So obviously the voltage was calculated to give the correct voltage to light up how many lamps were actually in the chain. It was also arranged that obviously if one of these bulbs burnt out, which was a possibility, being series lit, all the others in the chain would go out, but not in this case. I mentioned the narrowing of the lead-in wires to the filament. If that filament blows, then it will set up an arc between the narrowing parts, and the idea was to weld the two wires together and they would relight the lights in the series of lamps. So obviously there was enough voltage to cause it to arc. Now these are working on, as I said before, on amps. I think I looked, it was 6.6 amps. So the voltage was such a range that it would be high enough to open circuit, cause a short or arc between those two closed contacts, or very close contacts. Once the light was on, taking and drawing current, that would mean that the lamp would not blow through the higher voltage. So it's all to do with the voltage and the current of the circuit. The voltage was needed, an open circuit, to arc across those two wires. Anyhow, that is the general idea of things. This, I suppose, is quite a rare lamp. It's about time I did start to put a few more videos up on the lamps. So we start with this one. I may have shown it in the past, I can't quite remember. I might have talked about it on the lighting gallery, which I tend not to go on now. No reason, it's just that there's a few arguments on there which I didn't like, so I came out of it. So if anyone interested, I will put a few more lamps up. They'll be interspersed between my plants, telephones, or any other interesting thing that I might have. So once again, thanks for watching. I'll pop this up on good old YouTube. Don't know what I'm going to put up next. As I say, I will show you those, well, not all neon lamps. They're all small lamps that I got as a job lot. And considering one of those neon lamps could be bought on eBay for perhaps more than I paid for the whole lot of the job lot, it just shows you how, well, I think, stupid things have got, and how lucky I was in the past to pick up such interesting items at a sensible price. Now, well, they say they've just gone mad, completely mad. But keep looking, still find bargains, as I did with that £10 deal. That was in England, by the way. Anyhow, that's all I've got to say on this one. Thanks for watching. Any comments please make. And yeah, I'll get back to you. Thanks again. Thank you.